And for more on these Indian strikes on Pakistan, we can bring in Leela Jacinto from France 24's International Affairs Desk. Leela, these strikes by India mark an escalation in the recent tensions between India and Pakistan. Just how significant are they?
They are very significant. As you said, this was expected. India had said it would retaliate. But the way it has retaliated in these overnight strikes, in terms of intensity and targeting, marks a significant escalation in a conflict that has raged for more than 7 decades. And in the 7 decades, the two countries have gone into all-out war, of course, but there is a period of sort of peacetime hostility that follows a sort of a choreography when such incidents happen. Now, India has extended it with these latest strikes in its targeting. So the strikes, the targets that it chose were not just those in the border areas and in Pakistan-administered Kashmir. India struck targets in Punjab. This is Pakistan's heartland. It is the most populous province of Pakistan. It's the agricultural and political base of Pakistan. So India has really stretched the border posts over here. What New Delhi's calculation has been is that the Pakistani response to this, which invariably comes, will follow conventional lines. Now remember, these are two nuclear-armed neighbors. Nuclear weapons are seen as a deterrence. So even though at times like this, the nationalist rhetoric is hyper-nationalist, even jingoistic, unlike in the Ukraine war and Russian President Putin, these two countries do not use the nuclear rhetoric. So India's calculation has been that a Pakistani response will follow the sort of choreography of a conventional response. But here lies the problem, because in this conflict, there's asymmetry involved. India is seen as a militarily mightier neighbor. Pakistan is a significant military power, but Pakistani policy also has asymmetry baked into its policy, and Pakistan uses asymmetry in its conflict in Kashmir. The original cause of these strikes was a terror attack in Kashmir, and it comes years after Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that his policies had brought peace and prosperity to Kashmir. He had two very controversial decisions in 2019 where he basically scrapped articles of the constitution pertaining to Kashmir. This is a disputed area. It's India's only Muslim majority area. The Modi administration scrapped Kashmir's limited autonomy, and it enabled outsiders to buy land in Kashmir. This was overlooked but extremely critical. All these things add grievances among a local populace that sees itself as living under an occupation, or at best under a tremendous security presence and human rights violations. So while India blames Pakistan for these kind of attacks, and Pakistan has a history of using these attacks because it is an asymmetrical power, so the basis of the Kashmir conflict never get addressed. And with each clashes of these kind, the guard posts are being extended, and this issue is not going to be resolved because the international community basically accepts the Indian position on it, which is this is a bilateral issue. So we have a lot of calls for calm and a lot of hopes that once again this will die down, only to spring up again later.
Thank you very much for that, Leela Jacinto.